look at the time, where does it go? So much to craft, so much to sew. Time is ticking, there's a buzz in the air. Need to get ready, no time to spare. Yarn, thread, paint, glitter and glue. So many supplies, what should I choose? Need to decide, do I knit you a hat? Maybe embroidered shirt, I know you'll like that. Quilt you a blanket, that might take a while. Crafting is my passion, love to make you smile. So many ideas, so much to do. Making your gift, just thinking of you. Colors and patterns, spreading holiday cheer. It's the holiday crafting time of the year. Endless distractions, must focus, stay strong. The joy of crafting keeps me pressing on. Dream stitched in fabric as time goes by. With love and devotion, my gifts come alive. So many ideas, so much to do. Making your gift, just thinking of you. Colors and patterns, spreading holiday cheer. It's the holiday crafting time of the year.
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Good morning, Gifted Crafters, and welcome to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Hello out there. Good morning. Good morning. Awesome. I see people from all over the place here. We've got Maryland. We've got Texas. We've got Miami. Hey, neighbor. How are you? And let's see here. We've got in a little town called Granbury. It's in Fort Worth. I don't think I've ever heard of that town. I'll have to look that one up. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining. Pompano Beach, Florida. Hey, awesome. How are you? Awesome. Okay, I see people coming in the chat, and you guys are just chatting away. That's awesome. Great, great, great. Okay, well, if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I am tuning in from Miami, Florida, where it is really steaming hot. And a little bit of rain. We are getting a little bit of stormy weather, and then it kind of clears up, and then it's just hot the rest of the day. And I think that's how it's going to be the rest of this week. So it's going to be a hot one. So I hope wherever you are, you have some comfortable weather, and you're going to have a fantastic day today. And I want to thank you for tuning in this morning and supporting me on my sewing, embroidery, and just all around crafting journey. I just have a great time, and I really want to thank you guys for being here. Hello from Australia. Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining. amazing how we can reach out and everyone from all around the world can just tune in. This is just so much fun. I really love it. Thank you guys all for being here. We've got Missouri in the house here today. Awesome. Yay. We got North Carolina. Oh, it's foggy over there. Okay. All righty. Well, thank you for tuning in. Again, my name is Nancy, and I just love to do all kinds of crafts, and I like to have you here on my journey. So thank you for being here. Alrighty. So if you have tuned in before, you know that we like to start off with our little toast in the morning. So grab yourself a cup of whatever it is that you have in the morning. There's no judgment here. We do all kinds of things. I myself have to start my day off with at least a cup of water. After I have that cup of water, then I kind of move over to my coffee or anything else during the day. But gotta start off with the coffee. And it's been so hot here, guys. It feels good to have a nice ice cup of water in the morning. But then I will move over to probably some coffee to kind of wake me up. Yes, not quite wake just yet. Don't know about you guys. Awesome. Alrighty. So go ahead and grab your little drink. And here's a toast to you. And I'm going to grab a sip right now. Oh, wow. You need to have some coffee ASAP. Oh, boy. Awesome. Well, we've got Illinois here. Hey, Sue. And we've got our Canada friends. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Okay, guys, I know that we've got our drink, and I hope that you're all in your little cozy spots. But I think what we need to do right now is grab our little snack, shall we? Alrighty, so today I think we're going to get our little food cart out, and we're going to do our little exercise. So let's grab our little food cart. Go ahead and get your snacks, guys. You know, go ahead, make the line. No fighting here. We have stuff for everyone. Coffee, donuts, bagels, muffins, anything that you can think of. We've got it on there. So don't be shy. Go ahead and get whatever you want. It's totally free. And of course, we've got kale and carrots for those healthy food people out there that like to do their shakes. And yes, of course, that is a unicorn that is in the box. Alrighty, so I hope you guys got all your snacks and all your drinks and you're ready to go, because we need to pick up where we left off yesterday. And if you didn't tune in yesterday, let me just grab this over here and I'll show you what we're doing just to catch you up. We are working on our Holly Jolly Christmas quilt. And of course, guys, we are now in Christmas mode, right? So we need to get our Christmas projects started. So we are working on this. This is a Designs by Juju holiday quilt. And I am doing this with my 5x7 embroidery hoop. And we're going to have a lot of fun putting this together. So some of the things that we're doing a little bit different. It is an applique type quilt, but what I'm going to be doing is using my scan and cut machine to cut my applique pieces and then go ahead and do that the rest of the process on my embroidery machine. So yesterday we had a bunch of steps and we were able to get a lot of things done, and I was able to do some cutting to have everything prepped for you guys. So we're going to jump into that. But before we do that, let's go ahead and find out what's going on in our crafting world out there, shall we? So let's go ahead and look at our crafting news. So we'll start that segment up. Here we are. Alrighty. So what do we have out there? Well, we've got a 50th anniversary going on out there. So let's get ready to be inspired for this one. And this all started with the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show in Sisters, Oregon. So if you're ever out in that area. And what happened was we've had one woman who was hanging on onto a few family quilts outside of her little shop, and that has grown into the world's largest outdoor quilt show. She draws in 10,000 visitors from all over the globe, which is just pretty amazing. So back in 1975, Jean Wells was the founder of the Stitchin' Post, displayed just a dozen quilts. But now she's got over 1,100 quilts with covered fences, walls, and storefronts all over the town. And on Saturday, July the 12th, they are going to be out there for everyone to go out and see. And the best part of this whole thing is that it's totally free. It's free and it's open to anyone. Right? So this year they're celebrating something a little extra special. The original quilts that were on the very first show will be on display, and Jean herself will be sharing stories and memories along with her daughter Valerie. And there's even a full week of quilting workshops. They're going to have a raffle and a stunning quilt that celebrates the natural beauty of sisters. Isn't that awesome? Now, this is going to be great, you know, for people of all ages from 10 to 92. They're all taking part in this show, and the event is going to be run by over 400 volunteers. So that's truly a labor of love and a whole community that really believes in creativity, tradition, and making something really beautiful together. And I think that's awesome. Okay, we're going to head over to our next one, and that is about a woman, and I'm going to tell you her name is Debbie Wheeler Roth, and she's from Monley, Illinois, and she's showing the world what true determination looks like. 3 years ago, she had a major stroke on her that left her with her right side to be completely paralyzed. But instead of giving up, she has a love of quilting, and she found a way to keep it going with one hand. Isn't that really amazing? That's truly inspiring. Now, Debbie is 71 years old, and she's been quilting for over 25 years. After her stroke, the doctors told her that she might not ever walk or drive again. But Debbie said no, 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 and she taught herself how to sew with her left hand and even drives with her left foot. Now, with the help of some handy tools and a whole lot of heart, she spends hours in her sewing room making colorful quilts. And here's the best part. She doesn't just keep them. She gives many of those quilts away to places like the St. Jude's Hospital and the Quilts of Valor. Isn't that amazing? Now, in the last 3 months, she finished 42 quilts. And what is her big dream now? To get back to using her long arm machine so she can do even more. Isn't that amazing? That's, gosh, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way, right? If you really want to do something, you're not going to let anything stop you. And I think that's truly inspirational. I think that's amazing. Righty. Oh, Quilting Sisters is on your bucket list, Harriet? Yeah. Awesome. I would love that. I would love to go there. Yeah. That's truly amazing. It's just so inspiring to hear those stories and to actually be able to go there and see them. It's just really amazing. So we like to kind of, pick these little stories and do this little segment just in the event that someone is in that area. They may be able to catch some of this stuff. And hopefully they kind of check back with us and let us know about the event. I know we had a couple people who were able to attend a couple of events, and they put some pictures out on Facebook. So I really appreciate that, because I really love to see that. I think it's just amazing. So thank you guys for doing that. Alrighty, so I think we're ready to get started here. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can make some space here. And so I have a couple of things on my table here. So first thing I've got is my little board here with all of my goodies on top, right? And so if you look at the pattern itself, you can just grab that, and let me move this over here and this over here. You're going to need this as well. Okay. So what I have done ahead of time is I went ahead and I kind of went through the cutting and supply list over on the little PDF that you get when you purchase the design which, by the way, guys, they are 70% off on this particular in hoop quilt. So if you wanted to find that, it's on the Designs by Juju website. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that, but I like to let you guys know where you can find these patterns. So this is in the Designs by Juju website, and that's, you know, the Holly Jolly Christmas quilt. It's an in the hoop pattern, so you can get that there. So once you have that, I went ahead and I cut, and so I did cut the batting, and it did indicate that the batting needed to be 6.5 squared, so I went ahead and cut that one. And then I also cut the background fabric, and the background fabric that I'm going to use is just a simple little, it's a white on white, and it has these little polka dots. Don't know if you guys will be able to see the polka dots. Yeah, I don't think it'll show, but it's very, very light little polka dots. And I went ahead and I used some, excuse me, let me just grab a quick sip. I went ahead and I used some SF 101 on here. Okay. And so I put some SF 101 behind my background fabric, and this is a fusible, so it is behind, and it's making, kind of reinforcing the fabric itself. The fabric that I have is not a premium cotton, and I'm a little worried about that because it isn't really a premium cotton, but I think it'll do just fine. And with the SF 101 behind it, that kind of reinforces it a little bit more. So I am doing that because this design is a little dense. It has it has a lot of satin stitching going on here. And so I want to make sure that I'm not going to get any puckering that could happen while you're embroidering if you don't have enough reinforcement behind it. So I think with the SF 101 being behind there, and then for stabilization, I am using the no-show mesh. And I have gone ahead and I put 2 layers of no-show mesh, and I've got the hoop on the machine right now. This one only has 1, so you don't have to go back and put another one. I originally had only 1 layer of it, and then because of my background fabric that I'm using, since it's not premium cotton, I decided to go ahead and put another layer of no-show mesh just to give it that additional stabilization that we'll need. And then we've got our pieces here that we're going to be cutting with our scan and cut. So I kind of just cut them down to size, and I put some heat and bond light behind it. And so it's going to kind of help with the fraying that can happen. So I'm going to go ahead now. We're going to cut that with our scan and cut. We went through the settings yesterday where we went from taking the embroidery file and putting it into our scan and cut, and we went through all of the steps, and we were just about to cut them when we ran out of time. So we're at the point that I am ready to scan the mat, so I'm going to go ahead and take this plastic protector off, and I'm going to come over to my design board, and I'm going to pick up some of my pieces here. Let's see here. Got some extra stuff here. Now, let's see. So Barbara says, last night you were checking out the Amazon upcoming sale. Yes, I clicked on the scan and cut. One of the videos reviews was yours. Yes, yes, it was, Barbara. I did a review on my scan and cut. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. And actually, when I got my scan and cut, if I recall correctly, I did get it on one of those Amazon Prime sale thingies that was going on, and I got it at a really good price at that time. And Amazon is going to have their upcoming sale from July 8th, I think, till the 11th, something like that. And you may want to check it out there because they may have a good price on scan and cuts. So you can definitely look out for that. Let's see. Sandy's asking, is there a reason you're using no-show mesh instead of cutaway. At least here, it's much more expensive than regular cutaway. It is, Sandy. It is. And I actually have a stack, and let me see, where do I have it? I bought this. Gosh, it's been a while when I purchased this. So this is the no-show mesh stabilizer that I use. It's by Brother Reed, New Brother Reed. And I got this off of Amazon, but it is quite pricey. But I wait for crafting deals to kind of happen. We've got a few deals that are going on, and I put them on the Amazon shop for, whoever is looking, to get really good deals, because, we really love our deals. So I really am constantly looking. So for Prime Day, I know they're going to have a ton of deals out there, and I'm looking, and I'm going to be putting, as I find things, I'm going to be putting them out there on our shop. So you may want to check that out, because especially hubby over here, he loves deals, right? He does not like to pay full price on anything, and neither do I. So I like to kind of look out for deals, and he's looking out for deals, and anything that we find, we're going to go ahead and put it on the shop so that you guys are aware, just so you guys can pick it up on there. No, I do not pre-shrink my SF101 Quilting with Harriet. I don't. And let's see. And so you could probably get away with cutaway. I just like the soft feel of the no-show mesh. I really like it. Depends on the project and what you're going to use it for. If I can get away with the cutaway, I'll use the cutaway. But for these that are kind of like Christmas quilts, and I know these are going to go to kids, that's why I want to use the no-show mesh. But yeah, alrighty. Let's see. So let me put these down. I'm going to try to see if I can put them about where I think I'm going to have all the stuff. But we can move them around. It's no big deal. Let's see. We've got the red nose. I'm just going to kind of put them, anywhere on the mat. There's no particular order. Let's see. Oh, my scan cut turned off. There we go. Let's see. We'll put this one over here. Just makes it a little bit easier. And we've got the little head. Let's put it here. I like to kind of just put them about where I think it'll be easier to cut. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my brayer. And here's the hard part. My mat is semi-sticky. I'm just hoping I don't have any issues with my fabric coming off. And that's always a thing with this thing. Happens on my Cricut as well. Once your mats are not as sticky anymore. And this one is kind of lifting, so I'm not too happy about this one here. Let's see if I can move it to another area. Maybe it'll be a little bit more sticky. And that's the great thing about this too, is that you can do that. Alrighty. Hey, 100 Proof Quilter. So 100 Proof Quilter was putting up her Christmas tree for the first time in a while, and she's teaching her grandson to sew. So I think that's amazing. I was watching her, and I think that's pretty amazing. And I love to see other crafters and watch to see what you guys are up to. And I think that's pretty cool. So I hope you have a great time with that. Alrighty. I've got them down here. I may try to use a little bit of tape, but I think I'm okay. I think we've got it down pretty well. So I'm going to go over to my scan and cut, and I am going to scan the mat first. And this is one of the beauties about having a scan and cut that the Cricut can't do, is you're going to want to scan that. So first I'm going to go ahead and load my mat here. And once it's loaded, I'm going to ask the machine to scan my mat. And what that's going to do is tell me where my fabrics are positioned exactly on the mat, which is pretty cool. Grab my little pencil here. And I'm going to tell it start. So go ahead and scan that mat. And really, I mean, just that little button really makes it so much worth it to have the scan and cut. It's really amazing. Let me kind of turn over this way. But oh my gosh, that really, really makes a big difference here. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got all of the pieces all scanned and you can see exactly where they are. And so now all I have to do is kind of move the design and make sure, and this is how you can really save on your fabric, right? You can position the design right where you want it. So if you want to fussy cut something, you can do that as well. Just move this a little bit more. There we go. And you can really make sure that these pieces are going to really be cut in the right place. You can rotate them around if you need to, but this really allows you to really get the maximum use of your fabric. Isn't that pretty amazing? So all of my pieces now are sitting on the fabric and I was able to move it around exactly where I want. This is what really makes the scan and cut amazing. The fact that you can bring in an embroidery file and do things like this, I mean, that's pretty cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to tell it what I want to do with it. So I want to cut this. And I've got my rotary blade in there. And these are the pieces that it's going to cut. And I'm going to go ahead and hit start. So it's telling me it's going to be about 4 minutes. Now I'm using the rotary blade, and the rotary blade takes a little bit longer than the other blade, which is just a straight blade. The rotary blade really acts like the rotary cutter. So it is similar to our rotary cutters. It is a round blade and it's kind of on a little spinning wheel, so it's able to move around. But what it does is the machine really thinks about where it is it needs to cut and where the best position, what the best position is to make that cut. So it does take a little bit longer to do that cut because it is thinking through the process as it is doing it. And I really like using the rotary blade versus the flat one. I forget the flat blade, the regular blade, because the regular blade, when it cuts, it's cutting down and dragging the knife down while it's cutting it. Where the rotary blade, it has that rotary to it, so it's, kind of rolls through the fabric, just like with your regular rotary blade when you're cutting the fabric. And I think you have less of a chance of the fabric getting snagged and things like that, especially if your mats are not as sticky. So I prefer just wait a little bit longer and I get a good result. The other blades, I mean, they do cut well, but for me, in my experience, I found the rotary blade is just so much better. It's just that it takes a little longer. I don't mind waiting, so I'm good. So while that is cutting away, we've got about 2 minutes on the cut there. Like I said, I went ahead and I hooped my design and I put it on the embroidery machine. And what I did was do 2 layers of no-show mesh. So I've got my USB in the machine. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Make sure it is moving along. There we go. Of course, won't recognize my finger here. There we go. My fingers are having issues this morning. All right, so my embroidery machine's ready to go. I've got my USB in here, and I've got the design already in the USB. So I went ahead and took my original design that I got from the Designs by Juju website. This is not the one that we used for the scan and cut. Okay, this is the original one. And that's what I put on my USB. And now we're going to go ahead and go to the embroidery machine, bring that up, and we're going to have it start doing the first couple of steps. So I'm going to come over and pick my design and set it. And let's see, this thing is still working, so I'm going to head over this way now. Oh, there it is. It just finished. Actually, let's check this out first before I go over here. So it's asking me, it's saying, hey, I finished cutting. Do you want to select the next part? If there's a next part, you would select that. If not, you would hit finish. I'm pretty sure just by looking at, and I'm kind of scanning the mat with my eye, overall looks like it cut all of the pieces out. So I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and hit finished, and I'm going to unload my mat. So let's take our pieces out first so I can show you, and then we'll head over to the embroidery machine in just a second. So we've got our pieces here, and looks, I'm doing a quick scan and I can see the cut line. I know you guys can't see it, but I can see the cut lines here. Let me move this over a little bit here. I'm gonna close this up because we're pretty much done with the scan and cut. Let me move this out of the way. Now that we've got all our pieces, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to take the pieces out. So I have the little spatula that comes with your scan and cut, and you want to be very careful because you don't want to stretch your fabrics. So I like to go right underneath with the little spatula and just kind of go all the way around, just kind of releasing the fabric, and just try not to stretch it. So once I pull that up, I'm going to see my two pieces stay here. And this one is the little antlers. So we've got that in place. Whoop, there we go. So let's see if I can put this over to the side here. I'll just kind of put it on top of the batting. There's our little antlers. Let's see. We've got this one here. That's all the background stuff. This is the little nose. And someone, I can't remember who it was, I want to say it was Heather, was suggesting, hey, you can use some sparkly vinyl for the nose. I was thinking I may do that on the next one. But I thought that was a cute idea to kind of have it, you know, sparkly like that. And that's pretty cool. And so here is the background piece. And of course, we are left with our piece here. I am going underneath. And I'm just picking it up with the spatula because I don't want to just pull on it. Okay. And so we've got that here. Next piece here are the little hooves. The little tiny feet. And so these pieces are so small, guys. They will get lost. So be careful. You don't want to lose these. They're so small. And the last piece here, I believe this is the snout. Or was it the head? I can't remember. There we go. Okay, we've got all our pieces. Let me put my little plastic protector sheet back on because that's what helps to keep it sticky as well. And I may just kind of go back and clean that up later on today. So let me grab that over there so it's out of the way. And I am going to set these to the side. Okay. I think we're ready to go here. These are just some scraps. Okay, now. And these are the extra ones that I cut because I know I'm going to make another one. So I already cut those pieces. I've got that over to the side. And I'll keep those here. All right, so let's go over to the embroidery machine. And you can kind of follow along. Once you purchase the design and you print out the instructions, you can kind of follow along what they tell you as well, because it really helps to kind of check each step. We've already seen it in brilliance and we know what it's going to do, but it's always good to kind of follow along with the instructions. So now that we're here, we're going to go ahead and do the very first color. And the very first one is really just going to be a basting, a placement line that is going to do on your stabilizer. And that's just going to tell you where to start placing it. So it really doesn't matter what color thread you're using for these particular designs. For this particular placement line, it's what you want to use really, but they do give you the color to use. So I'm just going to follow what they tell you. But if you have another color that you want to use for this particular step, it really doesn't matter. So you can do that. So let's see, I'm going to put my foot down and let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and trace. So I like to trace right before just to make sure that nothing is in the way and that it is always going to be okay. And I look at the position and I'm making sure that everything is good. So it looks like we're all clear there. I'm not having to line up with anything, so I guess we are good. I'll go ahead and hit OK and hit embroidery. And I'm going to let it go ahead and stitch the first one, which, like I said, in the instructions, it tells you that is the placement line. So this is just telling you where to place the actual fabrics for your next step. So that's what this is going to be. And this was one of the lines, if you recall, when we were working in Embrilliance, this was one of the lines that we deleted on our original design we were looking at that we sent over to the Scan and Cut. Because again, it's a placement line, so we didn't need the Scan and Cut to cut that, which is why we deleted it. But we do need it on our embroidery machine because we do need to know where to actually put the items, right? And so now it's asking us to go ahead and put the batting. So I'm going to take a piece of batting here. And I've got my pieces on top, so I'm going to move this over. I'm just going to take one piece of batting and I'll go ahead and put it on the machine. Make sure you get underneath your foot. There we go. And you want to make sure that you're covering the entire area. Okay, and make sure it is nice and flat. There we go. All right, once you have that in place, I'm going to go ahead and hit go. Now it tells you to change the thread color, but since I already know what it's doing, I know I don't really need to change the thread color. So in order to save time, I'm going to go ahead and just keep that thread color on. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And I'm going to let it do its thing here. Now it is doing what's called the tack down stitch. So it's just taking the batting and tacking it down, keeping it in place. Okay. So once we do that, we're going to be ready to put our background fabric on here. So I'm going to get that one ready. And I've got my background fabric with my SF101 underneath. It's already fused together as one piece. And I'm going to take fabric side up. SF101 is down, right? And I'm going to place that on top once this is done. Okay, now you'll see here that it's already completed. I am going to need to take this off the hoop, so I'm going to lift up my presser foot here, and I'm going to remove this from the project. And this is the part that, you know, really becomes a little bit, I don't want to say annoying, but it's, you know, all that on and off and on and off, taking it on the hoop, off the hoop, you know, it's really just a little difficult to do. Okay, I'm having a hard time because of all the wires that I have here. Having a hard time just getting it off the hoop. There we go. Okay. There. Sorry about that. I hate to kind of give you guys my back, but I do need to kind of grab some scissors here. And I've got my little tray of scissors and gadgets and all kinds of things here. So I've got these scissors that I'm going to grab. I do have some duck scissors, but I prefer to get these. These are fine. Okay, we're done with the batting, so I'm going to move that over. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut the batting just outside of that line. Want to get as close as you can. Make sure you're not cutting your no-show mesh stabilizer that is on your hoop. Okay. Just get as close as you can to that. And you want to cut away all that batting. And the reason why you have to do this now is because if you don't, it's going to kind of be more difficult to take it off later when you have your fabric on top. So you want to try to get this off first. Nancy, don't you have a trimmer by George? You can use that at the end to trim everything up. Yeah, it eliminates. I've seen that, and no, I haven't. I mean, everything is so pricey, guys. I kind of on a budget. So yeah, I've been eyeing that, and I definitely want to get one. Don't have it yet, but I'm really hoping to get one soon. And that just looks amazing. Yeah, it eliminates you having to take the hoop on and off all the time. It's pretty cool. But no, don't have it yet. Hopefully soon. I'm saving up for it because, you know, everything is just pricey and I gotta kind of hold on to my pennies. So let's bring this back to the hoop now. I do have my fabric on top and I'm just gonna bring it back here to the machine. There we go. Put my foot down and we are ready to go again. So go ahead and hit that button. And now it's going to tack down the background fabric. And so I just give it a quick look to make sure that it's all okay. And it looks great. I'm really loving the way it's coming out so far. And so then we're ready to kind of move to the next step. And so now it comes the fun part because now we start to kind of put the applique pieces in place. And since we already have them cut up, this is going to be a lot of fun because I really don't have to take it off and on the machine so many times because everything's already cut up. So there's really not much to trim here. So hopefully this comes out okay. So fingers crossed, guys. Alrighty, now it's asking me for the first color, which is 86 for I'm using sim thread, and so it actually is telling me number 86, which is the actual thread that I already have on the machine. That's kind of why I started with that one, so I didn't have to change threads and save us a little bit of time. And it is going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and run this. It's going to go ahead and put the first stitch on here. And this is basically going to tell me where to put the fabric. So the placement line. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my piece that we cut with our scan and cut. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on the machine as soon as this is done. There we go. Alrighty, so now it's ready for me to put that down. And so you can see here, and let's get over to this machine. You can see right here, I can go ahead and put this piece down. And it is going to fit perfectly in that spot. If I can get it in here. There we go. And what I do need to do is I need to change my thread. So for this one, I do need to change it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the next thread color, and that's 517 is what it's telling me it needs to be. So let me just grab that. 517. Let's see. Round one. Here it is. Okay. Now, when you're changing your threads, you need to be very careful and change your threads correctly. So what you want to do is you want to take the existing thread that you have on your machine and just leave it on the machine. You're not going to yank it off. You're going to actually make a knot with your new thread color that you're putting on. And once you do that, it's going to kind of just, bind the two together. So I made a little knot with my two threads, and then I'm going to open up the tension by lifting the presser foot, and I'm going to pull my thread from the bottom, and it's going to feed it, and you're going to see the new thread appear here on the bottom, right? So we've got our old thread and we've got our new thread. Let me see if you guys can see that little knot there. That's where the join is between the two, and I'm just pulling it on this side because that's the proper way to change that. You don't want to go ahead and pull on your threads because you will damage, with time, you will damage your tension on the machine. So be very careful with that. Okay, so back to this now that we've got our thread in place. This is where it becomes a little hard, is because it's going to, it's in right in the right place here, but you know what? We did forget to do one thing. And that's what's going to help this a little bit. I do need to take it off the hoop only because we put some heat and bond on our applique pieces. And if I go ahead and I just stitch it the way it is, because these pieces are so small, they can move in the machine. And I don't want that to happen. I want it to stay in place. And so the heat and bond behind it is going to help it to kind of hold it down before it actually does the stitching on there. So it's really important that that gets done so it doesn't shift on you, because you don't want it to shift. And then once it shifts, you're going to have something looking like this, right? And you don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to plug in my little mini iron here and let that heat up. And let me just move my little carton of all kinds of scissors. And I am going to let me put this in here so it doesn't get lost. I'm going to go ahead and move my design board over so you guys can see, kind of position things. God, sorry, I have to move things all around. I don't have a lot of space, but I want to make sure that you guys do see this here. Now, all I'm going to do is take this piece that has the heat and bond, and I'm going to place it right where I want here. And I'm going to use my iron to iron that down and fuse it in place. Now, there's tiny little areas that I do see a little bit of the red, but I'm not too worried about that because it's going to do a satin stitch. And so all of that is going to be covered. And this is where the inflate question comes into play. In some designs, you do a little bit of an inflate, and others you don't. This one, I did not do any inflate, and I think it's going to be totally fine. I don't think we really need to add inflate to it. And inflate is just adjusting the design just a tad here and there, and you can do that in your scan and cut. And that's like a whole other session that I can spend talking about that. So I'll have to kind of do that on purpose, do a little project that has that in there, just so that you guys can see it. All right, I think my iron's nice and hot, and I've got this in place. So I'm going to hold this down and do this a piece at a time. Ooh, I did just shift it. No, I think I got it. And I'm just going to put that down in place. And that's going to hold it down for me so that now the machine can do its thing. I shifted just slightly, but it's fine. It'll be fine with the satin stitch. So that's that. Now it's not going anywhere. It's already fused in place. And then I'm going to bring it back to the machine and I'm going to have it do the tack down stitch, but it's really already tacked down. I really don't need that, but I'm going to go ahead and let it do its thing anyway. So let's go ahead and get it kind of reinforced in here. I'm going to bring this hoop back to the machine and put that down. And let's go ahead and lower that presser foot and hit the go button and let it do its thing. Okay. Alrighty. And so, guys, yes, there's long weekends going on here. Yes, a lot of people are going to be off. And guys, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break here in terms of our live. So for the 4th of July weekend, we are going to take a little break. So Friday, I will not be live on Friday. We're going to kind of just spend a little family time, just relax a little bit. We want to kind of, you know, spend some time with my son and just kind of relax a little and just enjoy family. And so we want to take that little bit of a break and make sure that, you know, family time is important. So I do want to take that time off because I don't get a lot of time off from work normally. So when I do have off, it's kind of like, you know, I really want to spend it with my family. So I am going to take a day off. So I will see you guys. I'm not going to be streaming on Friday and I will not be streaming on Saturday because we're trying to see if we can kind of go to some events and just kind of have some family time. So I will be back on Monday and we will finish this up on Monday. So yes, thank you, Heather. Yeah, we're going to spend a little family time, just rest, relaxation, enjoy, catch up. We've been so busy and we've been doing so many things that, you know, I think we need a little bit of a break to kind of reset and just kind of spend some quality time. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I remember we'll not be on Friday and on Saturday. So you guys, that doesn't mean that you can't work on your projects, right? Alrighty. So now that has been tacked down and it's already in place and it's ready to start doing the next step, which is again, the placement line. And this is now just going to keep repeating over and over and over again, right? So now we just put the second piece down. I'm going to do the same steps all over again, iron it down with the heat and bond, putting it in place, and then doing the next stitch line. So it's always the same. Now it's going to be a placement line. Put down your piece with the heat and bond, and then just follow the steps on the embroidery machine. It's just going to continue to go through the line. So I'm going to finish this up. And I'm going to have the finished block that I'll be able to show you on Monday. And then we'll continue to kind of go through some of the others because then it kind of gets into the sashing. And I want to kind of show you guys the sashing part of this. But this is just repeated steps all the way through for all 12 blocks. We're doing the same thing with our scan and cut, getting the heat and bond in place and putting all the pieces. So that's what I'm going to continue to do because I know we're running low on time and we didn't get our quote of the day in yesterday. So I definitely want to get that in today. So let me leave you with a quote of the day and let's head over to that segment. Okay, so today's quote of the day is, "The holidays may seem far, but early stitches bring the season spirit to life now." Isn't that true? Yeah. Holidays may seem far, but they're not too far, right? I mean, we are Christmas in July already, right? So you definitely want to do that. And, you know, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed the content. Like I said, I'm going to continue this block and I will finish it up and I will be back on Monday for you guys. And we're going to have a great time. We're going to get into the sashing part and all other pieces and challenging parts of the quilt itself. I'll kind of highlight any challenges that were made on here. And I'll see if we can kind of do some extra little steps to help you guys along. If you guys are working on this quilt and you run into an issue or you have a question, feel free to go ahead and email me or post something on our Facebook page. I'm here to help you guys. We're all here together, and we're doing this together and having a lot of fun. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. Yeah, and I hope you guys really enjoy your 4th. Yes, I'm wishing everyone a happy 4th also. Thanks, Sassy. And, you know, it's really amazing. We have a fantastic time. We have a fantastic community. And I hope you guys really have a great time this weekend and enjoy family and loved ones. Alrighty, guys, I think that is all I have for you today. I know we've got more crafters that are out there, and I'm sure that you guys like to watch them as well. I'm going to head over to Power Tools with Thread. She's one of my favorites, and she's going to be on in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and show her a little bit of support as well, okay? Alrighty, well, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter-free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. Bye now, stay crafting. See you tomorrow. So long, my friends, till we craft once again.